Bit of massage?
I think he'll just jump it. All he's got to do is go over the edge of it. Boy.
Flat. Stone.
Here he goes.
Faced.
No, he is massaging. He's going around this
round.
Ball. He's made it.
Back on track. The North Carolina Guinness.
Well,
the holder.
Sorta. He's got a tough shot here. He's going to be queuing over the 7 ball. So here come the finger extenders, possibly, to give him some height. Nope, he's going to do without the gadgets.
I've seen Olympic swimmers spend less time with the hot towel than Earl. These balls from the orange onwards for the match.
He's bubbled it!
Mosconi come all over when he bubbled it green and let Davis in. He lost the Mosconi Cup. Could that shot maybe lose his title?
He drove it right into the rail. And he's giving Steve Davis
settle down.
Easy out. Oh, Sid, it's a race to 1 when this is done.
It looks like Davis is going to break.
Missed it. Earl's back. He can't.
Look at all! Look at all!
I think he was screaming justice.
Justice, he shouted! Like Spider-Man getting a new wire! And the class in him.
Right, thank you.
The tension will disappear. There will be no self-doubt now. Takes the long rail shot. Fantastic drama here in Cardiff. Earl blew it. Steve blew it. He's still cursing the crowd as people having a lot of nerve. He should just get on with battering these balls down. That was the reaction to the Davis miss on the orange.
Wow.
Still letting fly, not in anybody particular at the crowd, just at the crowd in general. Or maybe crowds in general. Or people in general.
Just imagine if he were emotional.
Here we go!
It's done. Earl Strickland, the champion of the world, has knocked Steve Davis out of this World's Championship, Sid.
And he said it's not your fault. He had it in for the crowd, and who was right or wrong, but the world champion is through at the end of an absolute classic match. Davis tells the autographers, you'll see them around the back. Davis beaten, Earl Strickland through in a cracker.
What a match. We promised you a great one, and you just saw it.
Yes, wonderful match. Started with aggro and needle, ended, I think, with a handshake. Excellent performance by Davis. But Earl is still the world champion and could well be again.
Well, there you have it. Earl, the Pearl Strickland, beating Steve Davis 11-9. He'll be packing his cue case, but only overnight. Quarterfinals and semi-finals tomorrow. Signing 1 or 2 autographs. We will be speaking to him in a couple of moments' time. We should be, a revealing interview, to say the least. Let's update you on what has happened so far at the World Pool Championship. The last 16 through to the quarterfinals. These men, what a showdown we had earlier on. Efren Reyes taking on Francisco Bustamante. Bustamante of the Philippines through 11-8. Yang beating Mika Immonen 11-5. And it's Yang who Strickland will be playing next. Alex Pagulayan, he's through as well, 11-4. And in this evening session, Tony Drago, 11-9 against Young Hwa Jong. Steve Davis, as we saw just then, going down 11-9 to the Pearl, Earl Strickland. And the victories for Homan and Q K Chai as well. Interactive tomorrow. You can watch all these matches on Sky Sports. What a lineup we have as well. The quarterfinals see Pagulayan against Park, Chai against Tony Drago, Chin Chung Yang, who's seen as one of the hottest players in Asia right now, taking on Earl the Pearl Strickland. And Torsten Homan against Francisco Bustamante. Well, the man is here right now. Earl, congratulations. It was a lot of emotion out there.
Well, the audience is not being fair. It's as simple as that. This audience has to be schooled. In golf, you can't act like that against another player, it don't matter if he's from the moon. You know, I just don't appreciate it. I can't play my game if they don't appreciate me.
Do you think you have to almost get in this aggressive state of mind to play your best pool, though? Because you were wound up even before the match started.
Well, I was about to get in a fight with a guy in the audience. I mean, he's sitting there treating me like I'm some kind of crumb or something. I'm a great player, and you got to show respect to me, too. Simple as that.
There were times when you were getting involved in little arguments around it, and you had a couple of words exchanged with the referee as well, Michaela.
She came to me and said that I have to be quiet. Well, that's not true. The audience is making perturbing remarks towards me. That's not fair. If you tinker with one person's emotions and not the other one, that guy has way advantage on you.
You were expecting, or many people thought, that you may get a rough reception when you came in. Actually, the fans did cheer you when you came in the arena to start with, and also when you played great shots. Even though you may not have thought it, you were getting a good reception from most of the crowd.
Well, you know, I've played golf for 30 years, and I've studied golf. Golf is the ultimate game for courtesy. They treat each player equally in the whole field. The British Open, there won't be one player that's ruled, you know, singled out and heckled like I am. You know,
I mean,
I can't tolerate it anymore.
Talk about golf. There have been incidents in the Ryder Cup. Colin Montgomery as well
that's
has
a Ryder
had stick when he's played in the US Open. So you're going to get a little bit of the crowd against you when they're playing against a local favourite like Steve Davis, who everybody across the world or across Britain would know.
It doesn't matter, Dave. That's not the point. I flew 4,500 miles to get here. I spent 3,000 American dollars getting here. I deserve some respect. I know that a lot of the people want me to play well, and they're not. But there's that 10% or 15% that try to make it bad for everybody. And, you know, you got to school those guys. You got to make them understand it. They can't just single me out and ride me like a horse. It's just not fair. And in golf, Ryder Cup's that way, but the rest of the golf is not like that. And in golf, if you're making smart remarks towards a pro, he'll have you removed from the course, and nobody will ever boo him for it either.
Do you think there's a bit of gamesmanship going on? Steve took a couple of rest breaks there, and
well, I thought you were only allowed one rest break. You know, he's taking two. You know, that's another rule. I don't blame Steve at all for my getting upset because the audience. I can't. You know what I mean? I just can't handle it sometimes, and I come unglued. But I'm lucky to play as well as I did, fighting that crowd.
Yeah.
I think I'm a remarkable person to play as well as I do, fighting the audience.
You're trying to sell this game to the world as well, and a match like that really sells this game. I mean, that was electric out there.
Well, I noticed they didn't take any TV breaks on us. They wanted to carry on.
Well, because the match was going on so long.
The ratings were up. So
exactly.
I don't blame them for not taking any TV breaks, and I guess that's why Steve maybe had to take an extra break or something. And I still don't. You know, my hat's off to Steve. He's one of the greatest talents I've ever seen in all the cue sports. You know, three cushion or snooker or pool. I mean, to play the way he does, and coming from snooker, is phenomenal.
Let's just take you through that last rack and just talk us through what was going on, because there were some amazing moments and the emotion during this. Well,
he's locked. What a match!
Amazing. What about the break there? How was that?
Well, I got a shot here. I said all I got to do is get on the two and create an angle.
Yeah.
And I created the angle. I want to make the two here. This is a relatively easy shot. I'm probably not going to miss this one. I mean, I'm thinking I'm not going to miss it. So I want to get an angle on the two. So I go to the bottom rail. I get the perfect angle. And I don't know what I'm thinking about. I tried to get too close to the ball here, and I overamped. That's what you call when you overhit a ball, you overamp a little bit. And I just overhit it. I mean, I was beside myself when what I did here. I started to jump this shot, but I massed around it and made it. And, I mean,
you really
God.
beat yourself up, don't you?
I wanted to kill myself then. I mean, I literally wanted to just, you know, take a ball and hit myself in the head or something. I mean, that was so elementary, that mistake.
Yeah.
You just can't imagine how elementary it was.
You played a good shot out of this, though.
Yes, I did, but it created the trouble on the 5, queuing over the 7.
Look at the angle here. Were you thinking this is worse than it actually is?
I wanted to jump it. No, I couldn't make it direct. I had to spin it or jump it, either one. I just couldn't believe I put myself in that. Because believe me, the rack was very elementary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was no trouble at all. Once I get on the pink, this rack was over, and I just had a mental lapse.
Were the magic fingers going to come out at one stage?
Yeah, I was going to get the fingers and jump it, but the cue ball would go down table on me. I would draw it under the 8, and it would go down table, and I wouldn't have any position, so I had to masse it. I made a great shot right there. I really did. But this ball didn't roll far enough.
And the crowd appreciated it.
Yeah, they did. Sure they did. But if Steve would have made that, he'd still be cheering. I'm just joking. But this, I probably should have went ahead and shot. I never do this right here. I shark myself going and toweling up again. I really never do that.
Is that nerves?
Yeah, I wanted to try to calm myself. I said, all I got to do is make this ball, and the match is over. But the 7 had me a little bit. I had to cue around the 7, see? That's what made me miss the ball. And I simply hit it terribly. I actually could have shot that slow and probably made it. But I wanted to keep better position for the 6, and I missed it. But I'll tell you, I cannot believe. I've seen Davis miss one ball on me before. It cost him a match playing me in Poland that I thought he would make, right? I never dreamed in a million years he'd miss this ball. I mean, I just couldn't fan him.
What's your reaction here, though?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Look what you do here, though. That's the
first time I ever seen him dog it.
And you wonder why occasionally the crowd get on your back, anyway.
Well, I dog it. You know, I'm not afraid to admit that I dog it. But Steve, I think he handles pressure better than I do. Really. He's a pretty calm character, I'm telling you. One guy said I was a cheat. That pissed me off. A guy called me a cheat. I am not a cheat. I don't believe that for a New York minute. Listen, I don't gamble. I would never throw the book.
No.
You can't call me a cheat and get away with it. I ain't going to let you do that. No. Those are the things that upset me, Dave. The people were making little funny gestures.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not fair. I did like Tony Drager there. I went ahead and shot it in. Get it over with.
Nice to see that.
Well, I told Steve, I said, Steve, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. The audience is the way they are. You know? I mean, and I still ain't mad at the people. It's just, I want to be treated fairly too. I'm a God-fearing person. I'm a good person inside. It's just when I play pool sometimes I'm a little bit different. That's all.
Earl, millions of people have been watching you around the world. Millions of people you've given one heck of a lot of pleasure tonight. Congratulations. You're a great champion. You've been a great champion as well, and you're well on your way.
I'll tell you what, I didn't think I could. I thought a lot of people said Steve had a good chance of winning this match, and I believed it. I really did.
We've got to call it a night for tonight, but you're back tomorrow. Quarterfinals tomorrow in the afternoon, live and interactive on Sky Sports. You can choose the match you want to watch.